The office is silent. Not the kind of silence that feels calm, the kind that carries weight. The kind that hums against the walls and waits for someone to breathe wrong. I sit behind my desk, city lights bleeding through the glass, gold against the dark. Papers are stacked, the usual order I build around chaos. I've signed deals tonight that will shift power lines across half the coast, and yet all I can see is the corner of an envelope tucked just beneath the drawer lining. It shouldn't be there. No one touches this desk. Not without permission. Not without losing something for it. I slide it out. The paper is old, the edge frayed, the ink faint, a scent that shouldn't exist here, lavender and rain. My pulse stutters once. Then I stop breathing altogether. Her handwriting. Small. Slanted. Careful like she always was when she wanted to be brave. Draven, if you're reading this, I failed to stay gone. The first line hits harder than a gunshot. I lean back in the chair, the letter trembling between my fingers though nothing in me moves. The air feels heavier, thicker, like the past just walked in and sat across from me, smiling. She's the only ghost I never learned how to kill. Charlotte Evans. 5 years since I last saw her. 5 years since she left a hole in me big enough to drown an empire. 5 years of pretending I'd buried her name beneath deals, money, power. Every sin I could buy to forget her. And yet here she is. On thin paper, in quiet script. You once told me love is a weakness. Maybe you were right. But I think it's also the only reason any of us survive this world. I'm sorry I left the way I did. I had to. Her words blur for a second. I blink until they clear, jaw tight enough to crack. Had to. The same excuse cowards use before they run. A memory stirs, her standing in the rain outside my car, eyes red, voice shaking when she said, "If I stay, you'll destroy me." And I'd let her walk away. Because I thought that was strength. Because I believed love made men weak. My hand curls around the paper, creasing it. It doesn't tear. I almost wish it did. Something in the air shifts, subtle. A whisper of movement in the hall. Too soft for most to notice. But I built my life on noticing. The door opens. I don't look up immediately. I know the weight of that silence. I know the rhythm of her breath before she speaks. Draven. The name lands like a blade on glass. Slowly, I lift my gaze. And there she is. Charlotte. Not a ghost. Not a memory. Alive. Her hair is damp from rain, her coat clutched closed with shaking hands. She's thinner, paler, but her eyes, they still burn the same. That same storm-gray fire that could unravel me in a heartbeat. For a moment, neither of us moves. She looks at me like she's standing at the edge of something she swore she'd never approach again. I look at her like a man who's just realized he's been starving for years without noticing. Then she breaks the silence. I didn't come here for you. My mouth curves, not a smile. A reflex. The defense I wear when the ground shifts under me. No one ever does. Her chin lifts, the old defiance flashing through the fear. I need your help. Of course she does. 5 years, I say softly. No word. No trace. And now you walk in like this. My voice lowers. Why Charlotte? Her throat works around the answer. Because they'll kill my sister if I don't. That stops me. I rise from the chair. Slowly. Controlled. She takes a step back, as if the air between us is too much to breathe in. Who? I ask. Cortez family. Her voice trembles. They think she stole something. She didn't. But they'll come for her, for me, to make a point. I cross the distance until there's only a desk between us. And you thought coming here was a good idea. Her eyes flash. I thought you were the only one dangerous enough to stop them. There it is, the truth wrapped in an insult. She knows exactly what I am, and she came anyway. For a second, I almost laugh. Then I realize my hand is still gripping the letter. I set it on the desk slowly, so she sees it. Her breath catches. You found it. What is this, Charlotte? I ask quietly. Some kind of twisted full circle. She shakes her head. It wasn't meant for you. No. I lean forward. You hide a letter with my name on it in my desk, in my house, and it wasn't meant for me? Her gaze drops. I wrote it the night I left. I hid it because I couldn't say goodbye to your face. The words hit harder than I want them to. I exhale through my nose, slow, deliberate. The kind of breath that keeps a man from breaking things. Say it now, I murmur. She looks up, startled. What? Goodbye. It comes out colder than I intend. I want her gone. I need her gone. Because if she stays, everything I buried will claw its way back. But she doesn't move toward the door. Instead, she whispers, I can't. That single word cuts clean through 5 years of armor. I should send her away. Call a car. End this before it begins. But my hand moves first, a habit, not a choice. I reach for the lock on the door. It clicks into place. She flinches. I meet her eyes. You're not leaving tonight. The silence that follows hums between us, dangerous, alive. Outside, thunder rolls across the city, echoing off the glass. Inside, something I thought was dead starts breathing again.
I shouldn't have come here. The thought repeats with every step I take, echoing against the cold marble and the sound of my own heartbeat. The elevator hums as it carries me down from the top of Draven Black's world, his private penthouse, his kingdom of glass and secrets. When I first saw him tonight, I forgot how to breathe. I still haven't quite remembered how. The man I knew, the one who used to watch me fall asleep like I was something breakable, is gone. What stands in his place feels carved from steel and silence. The same face, the same eyes, but colder now, sharper. Like the world taught him to stop being human. He locked the door after I walked in. I told myself it was protection. Still feels like a cage. Now I'm in the guest suite, if that's what you can call a space bigger than my entire apartment, with rain trailing down the windows and the city flickering beneath us like a dying pulse. The air smells like his cologne. I hate that I still notice. My fingers shake as I unbutton my coat. It's still damp. I left everything behind when I ran. I didn't even pack a bag, just my sister's photograph, my phone, and a name I swore I'd never say again. Draven. He didn't ask for the full story. Not yet. But I saw the shift in his eyes when I said Cortez family. That calm danger. The one that used to terrify everyone else and used to make me feel safe. God help me, part of me still does. I sink onto the edge of the bed, palms pressed to my knees. The city glows blue-white against the glass, and in it I see reflections. Mine and his 5 years ago. He'd been sitting in that same silence then too, in that same office, when I told him I couldn't stay. When he let me walk away without a word. And I hated him for it. But I also knew it was the only way he knew how to love me, by letting me go before he ruined me too. The irony is that I ruined myself anyway. A soft knock at the door. Not loud, deliberate, controlled. Like everything he does. I swallow hard. Come in. The door opens. He steps in, a silhouette against the hallway light. Dark suit, sleeves rolled, no tie. Power contained in quiet lines. His gaze moves over the room once before it lands on me. You're still awake, he says. You locked me in, I answer. A flicker of something passes through his eyes. Amusement, maybe. Or regret. It's hard to tell with him. For your safety. Or for your control? He steps closer. Both. The air shifts again, heavier, electric. I can feel the pulse of it in my throat. He stops a few feet away, the city behind him, the storm reflected in the glass. You shouldn't have come here, he says quietly. I didn't have a choice. There's always a choice. Not when it's your sister's life, I whisper. He doesn't look away. Tell me everything. So I do. The words come out in pieces. How the Cortez family found out where my sister works, how they claim she'd stolen data from their accounts, how the threats started, the phone calls, the shadow following her car. When I finish, his jaw is tight. His hands are in his pockets, but I can see the tension in the veins along his forearms. I'll handle it, he says. It's not a promise. It's a decree. And it should comfort me. It doesn't. Why? I ask softly. You don't owe me anything. His gaze holds mine, unblinking. Maybe not. But you once did something for me that no one else has ever done. I frown. What's that? You walked away. The words land like a bruise I didn't expect. I don't even know what to do with them. He moves closer again, slow, deliberate. The kind of movement that makes you want to retreat but can't. You still wear fear like it fits you, he murmurs. But it never did. My breath catches. And you still talk like you know me. His eyes soften just barely. I do. The room goes quiet. Only the sound of rain against glass. And the hum of two hearts that haven't learned how to stay silent around each other. He takes one more step until I can feel the warmth of his presence. My pulse stumbles. I'll make sure your sister's safe, he says. But while I do that, you stay here. You don't leave this penthouse. You don't make contact with anyone. Understand? I should argue. I should tell him I won't be caged again. But the memory of my sister's voice crying over the phone stops me. I just nod. His gaze lingers a second too long. When he finally turns to leave, he pauses at the door. Charlotte. I look up. He says it quietly, like something he shouldn't still feel. You shouldn't have written that letter. My heart clenches. You shouldn't have kept it. He doesn't answer. Just looks at me one last time before he closes the door. The lock clicks again. I close my eyes and exhale, letting the sound of the storm fill the room. My body feels heavy, but my chest aches too much to rest. I thought I was done with him. Done with the way his voice could shake the air out of my lungs. Done with the kind of love that leaves bruises you can't see. But now I'm back in his world, the place I swore I'd never return to. And somewhere deep down, I know the truth I don't want to say out loud. I didn't come back because I had no one else to turn to. I came back because part of me always knew, if I ever fell again, I'd want it to be into him.
Rain hasn't stopped since she walked back into my life. It's been 24 hours, but time feels strange with her near, slower, heavier. The penthouse absorbs silence differently now. Every sound she makes shifts the air. I hear her long before I see her. The soft tread of her bare feet across the marble. The faint scrape of porcelain when she sets a cup on the counter. I don't move at first. I watch from the shadowed end of the hall, coffee cooling in my hand. She's wearing one of my shirts. White too big, sleeves rolled twice and still slipping over her wrists. She stands by the window, looking out at the city like she's waiting for it to answer a question she doesn't want to ask me. Her hair is loose, damp from the shower. I shouldn't notice that. But I do. I always notice her. When I step into the room, she turns, startled. The faintest sound leaves her throat, not fear, just awareness. You're up early, I say quietly. I couldn't sleep. Her voice carries the ache of exhaustion. Not physical, deeper than that. The kind that seeps under skin and stays. I don't blame you, I reply. Your world just burned down. She looks away, out the window again. It feels like it's still burning. I set the coffee down, lean against the counter. She keeps her distance, but her eyes flick toward me in short, involuntary glances. Like she wants to look and hates herself for it. How's your sister? I ask. I haven't heard from her, she says, voice small. I texted from your phone like you told me to. Told her to stay quiet, change locations. That's all. She'll be fine. You can't know that. I can. Her gaze hardens. You're still the same. You think you can control every variable just by saying it out loud. I push off the counter, cross the distance between us until the city light touches half my face and leaves the other in shadow. I don't need to control everything, I murmur. Just the things that matter. And what matters right now? My eyes find hers. You. The word comes out quieter than I expect. She goes still. I don't move closer, but something in the air does, the invisible pull between two people who used to know each other too well and not enough at the same time. Her hand grips the counter behind her, knuckles white. Don't, she whispers. Don't what? Say things like that. Why not? Because I might believe you. The truth in her voice hits me like a pulse. I take a slow breath. I should stop this. Distance has always been my safety. But the way she's looking at me now, cautious, wounded, wanting, it dismantles every wall I've built. Charlotte, I say, her name a slow exhale. She shakes her head. You shouldn't. Before she can finish, I take one step forward. Just one. Enough to make her breath catch. Enough to let the heat between us rise until it hums through the silence. I don't touch her. I don't have to. The air does that for me. She looks up at me, eyes wide. You're doing it again, she says softly. What? Looking at me like you did back then. How's that? Like you want to ruin me. I pause, let the words linger between us. Then, quietly, maybe I never stopped wanting that. She exhales shakily, the sound breaking against the edge of a whisper. Draven, my pulse tightens. I force myself back a half step, not because I want to, but because I have to. This is how it begins again, the slow fall disguised as self-control. I'm not that man anymore, I say finally. She tilts her head, studying me. You are. You've just learned how to hide it better. The corner of my mouth lifts, the faintest trace of amusement. You used to say that like it scared you. It still does. I hold her gaze a moment longer before turning toward the window. The rain streaks down the glass in thin silver lines. Beyond it, the skyline blurs. I'll find the ones after your sister, I tell her. I'll end it before they reach her. But until then, you don't leave this place. Her voice softens. You think the walls will keep them out. I know they'll keep you in. Silence stretches again, long enough for her to move past me. She walks toward the window, folds her arms across her chest, looks out over the storm. When she speaks, her voice is quieter. You used to hate the rain. I still do. So why live up here above it? Because it never stops reaching for me. She turns her head, just enough for me to see the faintest smile curve her lips. Not amusement, but memory. You always had a way with words. I had a way with you, I say. Her breath falters. The moment breaks when my phone buzzes on the counter. I glance at it. My man Vincent. The message is short. Found something. Cortez shipment tonight. Possible connection. Business. The part of my world that never sleeps. Charlotte watches me read it. Work. Something like that. You're going after them, aren't you? I meet her eyes. I'm not sending anyone else. Draven, don't. I'm not asking. She crosses the room fast, stopping. In front of me, voice trembling. You can't just disappear into whatever war you live in now. You're not bulletproof. I almost laugh. You'd be surprised. Her hand catches my sleeve. The contact is small, accidental maybe, but the jolt it sends through me is immediate. I look down at her fingers on my arm. Her skin against mine feels like something that was always meant to happen and never should again. Don't go tonight, she says. Please. The last word cracks. That sound, the break in her voice, does something to me I can't describe. I cover her hand with mine. Slowly. Carefully. Charlotte, I say, voice low. When I was 17, my father told me the only way to survive this world was to never care about something you can't control. She looks up at me. And did you listen? I tried. My thumb brushes her wrist, once, without meaning to. Then you happened. Her pulse jumps under my touch. Mine does too. We stand there, both still pretending this means less than it does. The storm outside thrums against the glass. Lightning cuts the sky open, light flashing over her face. You can't keep doing this, she whispers, running toward the fire. I've lived in the fire my whole life. Her next words come barely audible. Then let me pull you out. Something inside me fractures, a small, dangerous crack. I release her hand before I do something I'll regret. Stay here. Lock the door behind me. Draven, I'll be back before dawn. She stares at me like she wants to believe it and doesn't. You always say that. This time I don't smile. And I always keep my word. I walk to the door, grab my coat. She stands there in my shirt, barefoot, the city bleeding light around her like a halo that doesn't belong in my world. Before I leave, I glance back. Don't open that door for anyone but me. Her reply is a whisper. What if it's you I shouldn't let in? I don't answer. I close the door behind me before she sees the truth in my eyes. The hallway is quiet. My pulse isn't. By the time I reach the elevator, I'm already someone else, the man the world fears. The one who can end a threat with a single order. But her voice lingers. The echo of it stays in my chest, softer than a memory, heavier than guilt. She said she couldn't sleep. Neither will I. Because I know the truth she doesn't yet. The fire she wants to pull me from. She's already standing in it with me.
The storm hasn't stopped. It's past midnight again, and the rain is a steady rhythm against the windows. Soft, constant, the sound of a city trying to wash itself clean. He hasn't come back yet. I told myself I wouldn't pace, but the carpet near the window is proof I'm lying. Every few minutes, I check the elevator light across the hall, waiting for it to glow. It never does. He said he'd be back before dawn. He always used to say that. I press my palms against the cold glass and look down. The streets below gleam with rain, small and far away. I used to think he liked living this high because it made him feel untouchable. Now I think it's because he doesn't know how to be close to anything anymore. When I finally hear the door open, something in my chest unclenches. I don't move at first. I need the proof of his presence. The soft sound of the lock turning, the echo of his footsteps on the marble. Then I see him. Draven moves through the shadows like he belongs to them. His coat is soaked, his jaw tight. There's a line of blood across his knuckles, faint but real. You're hurt. The words leave me before I can stop them. He glances down, shrugs. Not mine. I cross the room before I realize what I'm doing. You said you wouldn't. I said I'd end it, he interrupts. And I did. He doesn't explain further. He never does. His calm is the kind that frightens people who know what it costs. You shouldn't have gone alone. His eyes lift to mine. There's no one I trust to watch my back. Then maybe you shouldn't have a back worth shooting. That gets his attention. His gaze sharpens, the faintest glint of something almost like anger, or something worse. Hurt. I regret the words the second they leave my mouth. I didn't mean, yes you did. His voice is quiet, low. You always mean it. He walks past me, pulls the blood-stained glove from his hand, tosses it onto the counter. I follow without thinking because that's what I always do. Follow the man who ruins me just by existing. Draven, I whisper. What happened out there? He doesn't answer right away. Instead, he turns on the sink, lets the water run cold, and washes his hands in silence. When he finally speaks, his tone is too even. They sent a message. I returned it. And my sister? Safe. For now. The relief is immediate and sharp. My knees almost give out from it. I catch the edge of the counter and breathe. He shuts off the faucet, dries his hands, then leans on the counter across from me, his body close enough that I can feel the warmth through the air between us. You don't have to stay, he says suddenly. The words hit harder than I expect. What? You came for her. You got what you wanted. You don't owe me anything. Is that what you think this is? A debt? He doesn't answer, but his jaw tightens again. I step closer, my voice low. You think I'm here because I owe you? I came because I didn't know where else to go. That's not the same as wanting to be here. Maybe it is. For a moment, silence stretches between us, heavy, waiting. His eyes find mine and something raw flickers through them. Don't say things you'll regret. I won't regret them. He laughs once, quiet, disbelieving. You will. You always do. Not this time. I don't even realize I've moved until we're too close. The counter is at my back now, the air between us gone. His breath hits my skin. Warm, steady, dangerous. Charlotte. He warns, but it sounds nothing like a warning. I tilt my chin up just enough to meet his gaze. Why do you keep saying my name like that? Like what? Like it hurts. He doesn't answer. His hand lifts, hesitates midair, then settles against the counter beside me instead of where I think it's going. The restraint in that single movement says everything he won't. You don't know what you're doing, he murmurs. Yes, I do. Then tell me. I swallow hard. I'm trying to remember why I ever thought walking away would make it easier to breathe. His eyes darken. It didn't, did it? I shake my head once. No, he takes a breath like he's about to step into something he swore he'd never touch again. You shouldn't be this close to me. I know. Then why are you? Because I don't trust myself to stay away. That's the moment he breaks. Not visibly. Not loudly. Just enough for his hand to lift from the counter and trace the air near my jaw. Not touching, not yet, but close enough that my breath stumbles. I don't move. When his fingers finally find me, it's barely a touch. A line from the edge of my jaw to the corner of my mouth, slow and reverent. You have no idea what you do to me, he whispers. Then show me. He freezes. And then, slowly like surrender, he does. The kiss isn't gentle. It's hesitant and desperate all at once. 5 years of silence breaking open in a single heartbeat. His hand slides to the back of my neck, pulling me closer. I taste rain and ruin and everything I missed when I stopped believing in us. He pulls back, his forehead rests against mine. Neither of us speaks. The sound of the storm fills the space between breaths. This is a mistake, he says softly. Then let it be one worth making. He exhales, a sound between a laugh and a curse, then presses his mouth to my temple, lingering there like he's trying to memorize the shape of something he knows won't last. When he finally steps back, I feel the loss like air leaving my lungs. He doesn't look at me when he says, "Get some sleep." Are you staying? For tonight. The words mean more than they should. He walks toward the door but pauses before leaving. Charlotte. Yeah. His eyes meet mine, tired, dark, impossibly soft for a man like him. Don't run this time. I want to tell him I won't. I want to promise him something that sounds like forever. But all I can manage is, then don't give me a reason to. He nods once and disappears down the hall. The rain hasn't stopped. And neither has the feeling that something irreversible just began.
Morning comes slow. The storm has passed, but the sky still looks bruised. Pale light dragging across the city like exhaustion. Charlotte's asleep in the guest room. I can hear the faint rhythm of her breathing from the hall. I haven't slept. The night sits heavy on me. Her kiss. Her voice. The way she said, "Then let it be one worth making." As if I didn't already know we were standing on the edge of something dangerous. I moved through the penthouse quietly, phone in hand, reading the updates from my men. Vincent's messages come first, coded, efficient. Cortez shipment intercepted. False lead. Someone inside leaked details of your safe house. Possible trace to female contact. Initials yes. Yes, Evie Sands. Charlotte's sister. My jaw tightens. It doesn't make sense. The Cortez family's pressure isn't about money. It's about leverage. They wanted a way to get to me, and they used her sister to do it, which means Charlotte walking into my life again wasn't coincidence. It was consequence. The thought sits wrong, cold in my stomach. I don't want to believe it, but I didn't build an empire by ignoring my instincts. When I hear footsteps behind me, I slide the phone into my pocket before turning. Charlotte stands there barefoot, wrapped in one of my shirts again, hair tangled, eyes still soft from sleep. She doesn't know how dangerous she looks like that. Or maybe she does. "You didn't come to bed," she says quietly. "I don't sleep much." She studies me. "You never did." There's something in her tone, not accusation, not nostalgia. Something between. I motion toward the table. "Eat something." She hesitates, then sits. The silence between us feels heavier than it did last night. I pour her coffee, set it in front of her. My hands are steady. My mind isn't. "I have to ask you something," I say. Her brow furrows. "Okay, your sister. Has she ever mentioned anyone connected to the Cortez family?" She looks confused. "No." "Why?" "Because they knew where to find you." Too quickly. Her eyes widen. "You think she?" "I think someone is feeding them information." "She would never." Her voice cracks on the word never. "Charlotte, she wouldn't." The sound is sharp, a break in her calm. "She's made mistakes, but she's not part of this. You don't know her like I do." I hold her gaze, quiet but unrelenting. "I know people, and people do things when they're scared." Her eyes fill with something I can't name. "You think fear makes everyone dirty. I think fear makes everyone human." She stands, the chair scraping back. "You're wrong about her." "Then prove it." Her shoulders tremble, not from fear, from fury. "You don't get to talk about family like that, not after what you've done." The air sharpens instantly. "What I've done?" Her voice lowers. "You built an empire on control and called it survival." I take a step closer. "And what did you build on running?" Her lips part, a soft gasp between defiance and heartbreak. "A life without you in it." Silence. It hits like a blade and a bruise all at once. I exhale slowly, forcing the tension out through my hands before I do something I'll regret. "Go cool off. Take a shower." She glares. "Is that an order?" "It's advice." When she walks past me, her shoulder brushes mine. Heat, movement, silence. She doesn't look back. As soon as she's gone, I pull my phone out again. Type a message to Vincent. Find the leak. Quietly. If it's her sister, I want confirmation before anyone touches her. Because if it is her sister, I'll have to decide how much of my soul I'm willing to burn to keep Charlotte from breaking again. She's still in the shower when the next message comes through. They're moving. Cortez family set meeting tonight. West Docks. Confirmed. Info came from Sands. My chest goes cold. I don't want to believe it, but denial has never saved anyone. I delete the message before she can see it. When she steps back into the room, towel wrapped around her shoulders, she looks calmer, unaware that her world is about to fracture again. Her eyes find mine. "Are you leaving again?" "Yes." "Where?" "Someplace you don't need to be." Her brow furrows. "Draven, please. I don't want any more secrets." "You came to me with a letter full of them," I say quietly. She goes still. "That was different." "No. It was the same." The silence after that feels endless. Then her voice softens, almost pleading. "You can't keep me locked in here." "I can, and I will, if it keeps you alive." Her chin lifts. "You don't get to decide that. Someone has to." The words come out colder than I mean them. I move closer, and she takes a step back. Not fear, just distance she thinks she needs. "Stop looking at me like that," she says, barely above a whisper. "Like what?" "Like you own me." "I don't," I say, quiet, certain. "But if I lose you again, I'll burn everything I own to get you back." Her breath catches. "That's not love, Draven. That's control. Maybe in my world they're the same thing." She stares at me for a long moment, eyes bright and wet. Then she shakes her head. I can't do this with you again. Before I can stop her, she turns and walks down the hall. The sound of the door closing echoes like a gunshot. I stay where I am, hands fisted, pulse slow and deadly. This is what she does to me. She makes me human enough to hurt, and that is the most dangerous thing a man like me can be. I glance once more at the window, the city, the reflection of the man standing in front of it, and make the decision I already knew I would. Tonight, I'll go to the docks. I'll face whoever's pulling these strings. And if it's her sister, I'll fix it before Charlotte finds out. Because love, for men like me, isn't something you say. It's something you protect, even if it means lying through your teeth while the person you love starts to hate you for it.
He's gone before the sun sets. The door clicked behind him an hour ago, and since then the silence in this penthouse has felt alive, like it's breathing around me. I tell myself not to worry, that he's always known how to come back from the dark. But the truth is, every time Draven walks out that door, I wonder if he'll return as the man I remember, or the one the world turned him into. I stand by the window watching the city fall into night. The reflection staring back at me doesn't look like me anymore. It looks like a woman caught between memory and madness. Someone who came here to beg for help and ended up asking for something far more dangerous. When the elevator hums again, I feel it before I hear it. That shift in the air. That quiet electricity that always precedes him. He steps inside, coat damp, shoulders tense. He doesn't look at me at first, he just removes his gloves, one slow movement at a time. There's blood on them. Dried, dark. My stomach twists. What happened? Handled, he says. That's not an answer. He finally looks at me and the distance in his eyes chills me more than the blood. I did what needed to be done. The calm in his voice is worse than anger. It's final. Absolute. I take a step closer. What did you do, Draven? He exhales through his nose, measured, deliberate. You don't want that answer. Yes, I do. He looks at me then, really looks. His eyes dark, his jaw locked. Your sister was working with them. The world tilts. No, I shake my head, backing away. You're wrong. I wish I was. She wouldn't, she did. The certainty in his tone fractures something inside me. You're lying. I don't lie to you. Then you're mistaken. My voice breaks, thin and sharp. She's all I have. You have me. Those 3 words stop me cold. The way he says them, quiet, desperate, as if he hates himself for meaning them, it's too much. Don't, I whisper. Don't do that. Do what? Use that voice. The one that makes me forget who you are. He moves closer, slow, dangerous. Maybe forgetting is exactly what you need. Don't come near me. But I don't move. He stops just in front of me, his hand hovering near my jaw but not touching. The restraint in that space, that inch between us, burns more than contact ever could. I didn't want you to find out like this, he says softly. Then why tell me at all? Because I won't build something with you out of lies. I laugh. A sound that isn't laughter. You think that's what this is? Something we're building? His eyes flicker. Hurt, anger, both. What do you want it to be? I don't know. My voice breaks. I don't even know who you are anymore. He leans in, breath against my skin. I'm the man who would burn this city down if it meant keeping you safe. Even if it meant burning me with it. His jaw tightens. Especially then. My chest aches. That's not love, Draven. He finally touches me, his hand at the side of my face, fingers trembling. Then tell me what it is, because I don't know how else to want you. His touch is both question and confession. I should pull away. I don't. The distance between us disappears. His breath brushes my lips and the silence breaks open. The kind of silence that holds too much history to survive it. When he kisses me, it's not gentle. It's years of restraint breaking all at once. My hands find his chest, not to push him away but to feel the proof of him. The steady thud of a heart that's carried too much. His other hand slides into my hair, slow, reverent, almost shaking. He pulls back, forehead against mine, breathing hard. This is wrong, he murmurs. Then why does it feel like the only thing that's ever been right? He exhales, the sound half agony, half surrender. Because it is. My fingers tighten in his shirt, dragging him back down. The kiss deepens, softer this time, not about fire but about survival. Every heartbeat feels like an apology neither of us knows how to say. When he breaks away, he stays close. His thumb traces the corner of my mouth, slow and shaking. Tell me to stop. I meet his eyes, dark, burning, uncertain. I can't. Something changes in him then. The control he wears like armor starts to slip. He lifts me and I don't resist. My breath catches against his shoulder, my pulse a frantic rhythm against his calm. He carries me toward the bedroom, every step unhurried, deliberate, as if each movement is a choice he's fighting not to make. At the door he pauses. Charlotte. I know what he's asking before he says it. I touch his face, fingers along the line of his jaw. Stop thinking. Just stay. The rest happens in quiet surrender. A decision made in a world where nothing is safe, but this moment feels sacred enough to try. The city outside keeps breathing, unaware that somewhere in the sky, two broken souls are trying to remember how to be whole again.
I open my eyes to silence. Not the kind I've built my life around, cold, weaponized, empty, but something else. Softer. Human. Charlotte sleeps beside me. Her head rests against my shoulder, her hand caught loosely against my chest like she's afraid I'll vanish if she lets go. Her breathing is slow, steady. I can feel each rise and fall, a rhythm that has no business existing in my world. For a long time, I don't move. I just watch the sunlight slide over her hair, the way her lips part slightly when she exhales, the faint mark on her neck where my restraint broke last night. She's real. That's the part that hurts. I run a hand over my face, careful not to wake her. My body is still, but my mind isn't. It never is. Every instinct I've spent years sharpening tells me this. Peace never lasts. And yet, for the first time in a long time, I want to believe it might. The world feels quiet. Too quiet. No calls. No alarms. No Vincent at the door. Just her. The woman I spent 5 years trying not to remember. The one who always returns when I'm certain I've killed the last piece of myself that could still feel anything. She stirs against me, the faintest sound escaping her throat, a sigh, small and trusting. My heart reacts before I can stop it. I'm not built for this kind of softness. I was raised in a house where silence was punishment, where affection was a myth told to children who didn't live long enough to learn better. And yet here she is, breathing in the same room as me like it's the most natural thing in the world. Her hand moves slightly, tracing the faint scar across my chest. She does it half asleep, unaware, but the touch lands like a whisper I can't ignore. Draven. Her voice, quiet, rough with sleep, makes my name sound like something worth saying again. I turn my head, meet her eyes. They're still hazy, still soft. Morning, I say, though it doesn't feel like one. It feels like some dream we were never meant to have. She blinks, a small smile tugging at her mouth. You look like you haven't slept. I don't, I answer. Not well. Why? Habit. She studies me for a moment, then shifts closer, her chin brushing my shoulder. You could try. Her words land quiet but sharp. I could try. As if peace were a choice I've simply refused to make. Charlotte. MHM. You shouldn't look at me like that. Like what? Like you think I'm still capable of redemption. She laughs softly, the sound breaking something inside me. Maybe I am. I look away, out the window. The light outside glints off the skyline, sharp and cold. Don't waste your hope on me. Then who else should I waste it on? She says it gently, but I feel the weight of it all the same. I reach for her hand, tracing the inside of her wrist with my thumb, slow, deliberate. I made promises to men who'll never forgive me for breaking them, I say quietly. There are things coming you don't understand. Then help me understand. I can't. Because you won't. Her tone is soft, but the truth in it stings. I don't want you near what's next, I say. You mean near you. That's the same thing. She sits up slightly, pulling the sheet with her, hair falling forward in waves that catch the light. You think pushing me away will make me safer? I know it will. You don't get to decide that for me. I do, I say quietly, because I already did. She exhales, frustrated, beautiful, alive. You're impossible. I've been called worse. Her eyes narrow, but there's no real anger there. Only exhaustion, only ache. I'm not leaving. I study her for a long moment. Then I'll protect you the only way I know how. And what way is that? Completely. The word hangs between us, heavy and dangerous. She looks at me like she's standing on the edge of something she both fears and craves. You can't keep me in a glass box, Draven. I can try. Even if it breaks us? My voice lowers. Everything worth keeping costs something. The silence stretches again, long enough for her to reach for my hand, for her fingers to find mine. Then promise me something, she whispers. What? When it comes, whatever it is, don't shut me out. I look at her. Really look. The freckles near her collarbone. The faint scar at her wrist. The way she's asking for something she knows I don't give easily. Trust. I nod once. I'll try. It's not enough. It's the truth. She leans in and presses her lips to mine. Soft, slow, nothing like last night. Just quiet understanding. When she pulls back, her eyes are glassy. Good, she says. Because I'm tired of running from you. Her words stay with me long after she leaves the room. I sit there, staring at the door she closed behind her, and realize something that terrifies me more than any threat outside these walls. Peace feels too much like hope. And hope, in my world, always comes before loss.
The day feels wrong from the moment it begins. Something in the air hums off-key, like the world's holding its breath. Draven left early. No explanation, just a quiet kiss on my shoulder before he disappeared into another day I'm not allowed to see. It should feel ordinary by now. It doesn't. The penthouse is too still. The silence doesn't feel safe anymore. It feels like a secret waiting to collapse. I make coffee, let it go cold, then try again just to have something to do with my hands. The city below glows with winter light, pale and endless. I tell myself he's handling it, that he'll come home with that same quiet certainty that makes everything else look small. But the thing about silence is that it starts to sound like doubt if you listen too long. When the phone rings, I almost drop it. It's not him. It's a number I don't recognize. Hello. Pause. Then a voice I don't know. Male, smooth, calm. Miss Evans. Something cold slides under my skin. Who is this? You don't know me, but I work for Mr. Black. My chest tightens. Draven. Yes, ma'am. He asked me to confirm the terms of the arrangement. What arrangement? The protection exchange, the man says. The one involving your sister. Every word lands like a shard of glass. I don't understand. He wanted me to assure you that she'll remain unharmed as long as you uphold your end. Why end? My voice is barely a whisper. What are you talking about? The agreement to stay in his custody until the Cortez matter is resolved. Custody. The word hits like a slap. I didn't agree to anything, I say. That's not what your signature indicates, ma'am. I freeze. Pie what? He clears his throat. There's paperwork. Signed and notarized this morning under your name. My pulse starts to race. That's impossible. Mr. Black assured us it was your consent. The line goes quiet. My heart is the only sound left. I hang up before he can say another word. For a long time I just stand there, the phone heavy in my hand, the world spinning too fast around me. Then the truth hits in pieces, cruel and slow. Draven did this. He signed something in my name. He turned my protection into possession. The same man who looked me in the eye this morning and told me to trust him. I feel sick. I grab my coat. The elevator's still locked by his code, but I remember the secondary exit, the stairwell leading to the service corridor. He doesn't know that I noticed. My hands shake as I punch the manual release. The alarm light flickers once before the door opens. The hallway smells like rain and concrete. I don't look back. The city feels colder than it did days ago. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's the realization that every time I let him close, I end up bleeding for it. I walk fast, head down, blending into the rush of people who don't know what it means to be hunted. I call my sister twice. No answer. Each ring feels heavier than the last. The voice from the phone repeats in my mind. She'll remain unharmed as long as you uphold your end. So that's what this was. His deal. His way of controlling every variable again. I thought I was here because he cared. Turns out I was collateral. My stomach twists. I can't decide if I want to scream or collapse. A shadow moves in the reflection of a shop window. I turn, heart pounding. Someone's watching. Across the street, a man leans against a car, dark jacket, eyes fixed on me. When he sees me notice, he straightens. I start walking faster. The street's narrow here, fewer people, more alleys. My hands tremble as I pull my hood up. I glance behind me. He's closer now. Charlotte. My name shouted once across the street. I run. I don't get far. A car screeches around the corner, cutting me off. 2 doors open. A voice, the same calm tone from the phone, calls out, "Please, Miss Evans. Don't make this harder." My heart slams against my ribs. You lied. No, the man says, stepping into the light. Mr. Black did. That's when I understand. The call wasn't from Draven's people. It was from the ones trying to reach him, through me. Before I can move, a hand grabs my arm. I fight, twist, shout, but the sound dies against the city noise. The world blurs. Headlights, rain, panic, and then darkness rushes in like a wave. When I open my eyes, the world smells like gasoline and salt. The air is damp. My head throbs. I'm in some kind of storage room. Metal walls, crates stacked high, the faint hum of water outside. A dock. Footsteps approach. I force myself upright, back pressed to the cold wall. The man from the car stands in the doorway, smile too polite to be real. Good evening, Miss Evans. Where is he? Mr. Black. He tilts his head. On his way, I imagine. He always comes for what's his. The words twist inside me. He's not. Oh, but he is, the man interrupts. He just doesn't know yet how much it's going to cost him. He turns toward the door, pausing just long enough to look over his shoulder. Don't worry. We won't hurt you. We only need him to come collect. The door shuts. The lock slides. And just like that, the truth settles in my chest like a stone. I didn't run from him. I ran straight into the trap meant for him. Outside, thunder rolls across the water. Somewhere in the distance, I know Draven's already moving. Silent, furious, inevitable. And for the first time since I found that letter, I'm not sure if I want him to find me, or if I just want him to stop trying.
The world stops the moment I realize she's gone. The penthouse is too quiet. One coffee cup on the table. The faint smell of her perfume in the air, soft, lingering, accusing. Her coat is missing. So is she. Vincent's voice cuts through the silence behind me. We traced her phone. Last ping was near the West Docks. Then nothing. I turn slowly. When? 2 hours ago. My jaw tightens. I nod once. Get the car. He hesitates. Draven, the docks. Now. The look in his eyes says he understands. I don't repeat myself. I don't have to. The elevator ride feels endless. By the time we reach the street, the city has turned to glass and shadow. Every light too bright, every sound too loud. She ran. I should have expected it. I made a deal in her name, forged her signature, to keep her alive. And now the same instinct that's kept me breathing all these years has driven her straight into the hands of the men trying to kill her. My fault. Every step of it. The car door slams behind me. Vincent drives in silence, engine growling low. I stare out the window, watching the city pass like a reel of memories I can't shut off. Her laugh in the dark. Her hand on my chest. The way she said, then let it be one worth making. I told myself love was a liability. Now it's the only thing keeping me upright. Vincent's phone buzzes. He glances at me. It's Cortez. Answer. He puts it on speaker. A man's voice fills the car, smooth, too calm. Black. I don't reply. You've been difficult to reach. You've been difficult to bury. The man laughs. Still the same arrogance. Good. It will make this more entertaining. What do you want? Nothing complicated. A trade. The woman for your docks. You think I'll bargain with you? I think you will, the voice replies. Because for the first time in your life, Draven Black, you care about something you can't buy back. Static hums for a moment. Then the line clicks dead. Vincent exhales. He's playing you. I know. What's the move? I look out the window again, eyes fixed on the horizon where the docks burn faint orange against the sky. I go in alone. That's suicide. It's correction. He doesn't argue. He knows better. The docks smell like oil and sea rot, familiar filthy home. I walk alone, the weight of the gun at my back like breath on my spine. Wind cuts through the air, sharp enough to taste. There are men in the shadows. I can hear them before I see them. Boots on wet concrete, whispers, the scrape of metal against metal. And then her voice. Faint, distant, muffled. Every muscle in my body goes still. I move toward the sound, quiet, precise. Every step measured. The old version of me, the one she thought she left behind, comes back like a ghost wearing my skin. I find her in a storage room, tied to a chair, wrists bound, hair tangled, face turned toward the door as if she already knows I'm coming. The man guarding her, Cortez's lieutenant, turns when he sees me. His smirk falters. Black. Let her go. He shakes his head. Not yet. Now. He starts to speak again, But he doesn't get the chance. The shot is clean, quiet, final. He drops before the echo fades. Charlotte jerks at the sound, eyes wide. Draven, don't, I say softly. Not yet. I move to her, cut the ropes from her wrists. Her hands tremble, but she doesn't pull away when I touch her. Are you hurt? She shakes her head. No. Her words break when she looks down at the blood on my sleeve. What did you do? What I had to. Her eyes fill, confusion and anger and relief colliding all at once. You can't just save you. My voice is quiet, lethal. Watch me. She stares at me, shaking her head. This isn't saving. This is destroying. It's both, I say. It's always both. She looks away, jaw trembling. You lied to me, Draven. About the deal. About everything. I did. Why? Because I knew you'd hate me for it, and I'd rather have your hate than your body in a morgue. Silence. Her breath hitches. You don't get to make those choices for me. I step closer. I already did. Her eyes meet mine, sharp, wet, furious. Then what now? You kill them all and call that love. My voice drops to a whisper. No. I kill them all and call it peace. She flinches at that. But when I reach for her, she doesn't step back. Outside, shouts rise. Boots hit pavement. More men coming. Vincent's voice crackles over the comm in my ear. They're closing in. 2 trucks. Maybe more. Clear me a path. Copy that. I look back at her. Stay behind me. Don't stop, no matter what you hear. Draven, promise me. She nods. I pull her close for just a second, my hand at the back of her head, her face pressed against my chest. I can feel her heartbeat, fast, terrified, alive. Listen to me. I whisper against her hair. You don't run from me again. She looks up, eyes wide. You can't keep saying that. I can, I say. Because every time you do, someone tries to use you to get to me. And I will not bury another person I love. The words hang there, raw, unguarded. Then I turn, gun drawn, body moving before thought. The first shot rings out. Then another. And another. She stays behind me, close enough that I can feel her breath between shots. Every man who comes into my line of sight drops before he can speak her name. By the time it's over, the night is still again. Only the rain moves. She's shaking. Not from fear, from shock. I holster the gun, step back, look at her. Her eyes are glassy, reflecting every flame, every body, every sin. You said you'd protect me, she whispers. Not destroy everything for me. There's no difference anymore. Her breath trembles. You can't keep doing this. I just did. Draven, I'll deal with the rest tomorrow. What happens tomorrow? I don't know. I look away toward the horizon. But I know you'll still be breathing. She doesn't answer. I reach for her hand. This time she doesn't resist. We walk through the smoke and rain in silence, 2 ghosts pretending to still be human. Back at the car, Vincent meets us. His eyes flick over her, then to me. You got her. Always. He nods once, drives us away. Charlotte sits beside me, silent. Her fingers twist in her lap. I can feel her wanting to say something, but not knowing how. I turn my hand over, palm up between us. A quiet offer. She hesitates, then slides her hand into mine. The smallest sound escapes her, half a breath, half a sob. And for the first time in years, I let myself hold on.
The city looks different after violence. Quieter. Like it's holding its breath for what comes next. We're back in the penthouse. Hours have passed since the docks, but the smell of smoke still clings to Draven's clothes, and the memory of blood won't leave my skin. He hasn't said a word since we came in. Neither have I. The silence between us used to be safety. Now it's a storm waiting to break. He stands by the window, jacket off, sleeves rolled, knuckles bruised. The city lights paint him in gold and shadow, a god and a ruin both at once. I sit at the edge of the couch, the blanket around my shoulders doing nothing to stop the chill. Every muscle in my body feels like it's waiting for impact. Finally I speak. You should have told me. He doesn't turn. You wouldn't have stayed. You're right. I wouldn't have. He exhales through his nose, slow and tired. Then I made the right choice. My throat tightens. You don't get to decide what's right for me. He looks at me over his shoulder, eyes unreadable. I decided what kept you alive. Alive isn't the same as living, Draven. Something flickers in his expression. A crack, small but there. I know. I set the blanket aside and stand. My legs feel weak but anger steadies me. I walk closer until I'm standing a few feet behind him. I thought you'd changed, I whisper. That maybe we both had. He turns fully then. I did. Did you? I laugh softly, bitter. Because what I saw tonight looked exactly like the man I ran from. His jaw tightens. That man kept you breathing. No, my voice breaks. That man kept himself from breaking. There's a difference. He goes quiet. The kind of quiet that feels like he's building walls faster than I can tear them down. Do you regret it? He asks finally. Which part? All of it. I meet his eyes. No, his shoulders drop slightly as if the word disarms him. Then why do you look at me like I'm the enemy? Because I don't know if you're not. That lands. His throat works, but he says nothing. I take another step closer. Tell me the truth. About the docs. About my sister. All of it. He hesitates, then nods once. She wasn't working with them. Not by choice. They had her debt, she was paying it off any way she could. They used her name to get to you. To get to me. The air leaves my lungs. You knew. Yes. And you didn't tell me. No, why? He looks at me like the question hurts more than the answer. Because if I told you, you'd have gone to her. Straight into their hands. I couldn't risk that. You lied to me. I protected you. That's the same thing. He takes a slow step forward, eyes locked on mine. Then hate me for it. But don't ever say I didn't love you enough to risk it. The words land like impact, quiet, deep, irrevocable. I can't breathe. He keeps talking, voice raw. You think I wanted this? To become the kind of man who signs your name to a deal you didn't make? Who kills for you? I hate it, Charlotte. I hate every piece of it. But I'll do it again if it means you wake up tomorrow. Tears slip before I can stop them. You don't get to choose between love and destruction and call it devotion. He exhales, almost a laugh but broken. It's the only kind of devotion I know. I close the space between us before I realize what I'm doing. Then learn a different kind. His eyes soften. The first sign of surrender I've seen since the night I left him 5 years ago. He whispers, teach me then. Something in me unravels. I lift my hand, touch his face. A gentle, trembling touch that feels like forgiveness and punishment at once. His breath shudders against my palm. You scare me, I say quietly. I scare me too. He leans forward just enough that our foreheads touch. The moment is small but seismic. The kind that rearranges something unseen. I'm sorry, he whispers. For every lie I told to keep you safe. I know, I breathe. I just wish safety didn't always mean pain with you. He pulls back slightly, eyes glinting in the dim light. If I could undo it, you can't. I know. We stand there, the distance between us smaller than a breath, both bleeding in silence that feels like confession. After a long moment, I say, if you want this to work, you have to let me in. No secrets. No locks. No deals with my name on them. He nods once. Then you stay. I'm not promising forever. I'm not asking for it. His hand finds mine. Slow, uncertain, like he's afraid it'll disappear if he moves too fast. I let him hold it. The city hums around us, the sound of traffic and sirens mixing with the faint rhythm of the rain starting again. You ever notice, I say softly, how it always rains when we break? He looks out at the glass, then back at me. Maybe it's trying to wash us clean. Do you think that's possible? For you, yes. And for you. He hesitates. Maybe if you stay long enough to show me how. I don't promise him anything. I just stand there, our fingers intertwined, the storm whispering against the windows, and for the first time since this all began, I let myself believe in the smallest, most dangerous thing of all. Hope.
Peace lasts 12 hours. That's all we get. 12 hours of silence. 12 hours of pretending the world isn't waiting to collect what it's owed. I knew it couldn't last. Men like me don't get peace, we borrow it. Charlotte's in the next room when it happens. The sound comes first, the whisper of movement in the hall, the soft click of the elevator that shouldn't be running this late. Then the gunfire. The first shot hits the glass wall across the living room. It explodes into light and sound. Down. I grab her before she can turn, pull her behind the marble column as another shot shatters the air. She's shaking, her breath fast against my chest. Draven, I know. My voice is low, steady, even though my pulse is a hammer. Stay here. No, but I'm already moving. I step into the open, return fire, quick, controlled. The glass rain from the windows still falls around me when one of my men, Vincent, bursts through the side entrance, gun drawn. They hit the lobby. 2 more coming up. How many floors clear? None. Then they're not leaving alive. He nods once, vanishes back toward the hall. Another explosion rocks the building. The power flickers, plunging us into half-darkness. The smell of smoke and metal fills the air. Behind me, I hear Charlotte call my name, quiet, terrified, too much like the first time I lost her. I move back toward her, pull her to her feet. We have to go. Where? Basement garage. There's a secure exit. She grabs my arm. Draven, your shoulder. I glance down. The burn registers only now, the red bloom across my sleeve, warm and spreading. I ignore it. It's nothing. It's not nothing. I've had worse. You always say that. Because it's always true. Her eyes flash, anger through fear. You're bleeding and you're still breathing. I cut in. That's all that matters right now. She looks at me like she wants to fight, to scream, but she doesn't. She just nods, jaw trembling. We move through the smoke. The air tastes like heat and memory. Every step echoes against the marble, a sound that feels too final. At the elevator, I pull the manual override. The metal doors open to reveal the maintenance shaft. We climb. You're insane. I know. She hesitates only a moment before she follows. That's the thing about Charlotte. She doesn't believe in me, not really, but she moves with me anyway. Halfway down, another explosion hits above us. The shockwave knocks the cable, metal groaning. I throw an arm around her, shielding her body with mine as debris falls. Something sharp grazes my back. Fire, pain, heat. I bite down a sound that might be a curse. When the world steadies, she's gripping me hard enough to bruise. You're hit again, later. Now. I shake my head, blood slick under my palm. We get out first. By the time we reach the garage, sirens echo through the building. The backup generators hum to life. Shadows flicker across the concrete, movement at the far end. Vincent's voice cuts through the noise. Go. I've got them. Don't be a hero, I growl. He smirks. Learn from the best. Then he's gone. I shove open the exit door, lead Charlotte into the rain. It's still falling, cold, hard, relentless. We make it halfway across the lot before the shot comes. I don't think. I move. The impact slams through my body, hot and fast. The world tilts. Charlotte screams my name. The pain doesn't come right away, just the shock, the sound of her voice, the taste of iron. She catches me as I drop to one knee, hands slick with blood. Draven, look at me. Hey, look at me. I'm fine. The lie sounds rough, but it's automatic. No, you're not. I said I'm fine. You're bleeding. I've been bleeding since the day I met you, I whisper. Her hands press against the wound. Don't you dare do this. Don't you dare leave me. I reach up, brush a strand of wet hair from her face. You said once that love wasn't supposed to destroy. Maybe you were right. But if this is how it ends, then I'm glad I loved you wrong. Tears cut down her cheeks. Stop talking like that. Then kiss me. Draven, please. She leans in. The kiss tastes like rain and blood, and everything we'll never say out loud. Her lips tremble against mine. When she pulls back, I can see it, the raw terror in her eyes, the one she never let me see before. Stay with me, she whispers. Please. I want to promise her I will. I want to lie. But I've never been good at promises. I told you, I murmur, voice fading. You're the only thing I ever wanted clean. Her hand presses harder to my side. You're not dying here. You hear me. I smile faintly. Then stop crying. I can't fight if you're crying. She shakes her head, desperate. Then fight, damn you. The world starts to dim at the edges. The sound of rain grows distant, soft, almost peaceful. Somewhere behind her, I hear sirens, distant but coming. Vincent shouting. Boots hitting water. I focus on her face, the only thing that still makes sense. You came back, I whisper. I never left. And with that, the dark takes me.
Hospitals have a particular kind of quiet. Not peace, stillness. Like the walls are holding their breath for all the people inside them who forgot how. It's been 12 days since the night at the docks. 12 days since the shot, since the rain, since I thought I lost him again. He's alive. The doctors call it a miracle. I call it punishment, the kind that feels too much like mercy. I've spent every day in this room since they brought him here. Sometimes he sleeps. Sometimes he stirs and forgets where he is. Once he woke up calling my name like a prayer and a curse all at once. Now he's awake, sitting upright, pale but breathing. The bandages across his shoulder peek from beneath the hospital gown. The machines hum softly. The storm outside the window has finally broken into sunlight. I sit in the chair beside his bed, legs folded, hands wrapped around a mug gone cold. I can't look away from him. "You should rest," he murmurs, voice rough, quiet. "You should stop getting shot." He almost smiles. "Can't promise that." I didn't ask for promises. Good. The silence between us stretches, but it's different now. No walls. No secrets. Just exhaustion that feels almost holy. He turns his head, eyes finding mine. "You stayed. I told you I would. You always used to run. Maybe I finally learned what was worth staying for." He looks at me like he's memorizing the moment. "I don't deserve that." "Probably not," I say softly. "But you have it anyway." He laughs. A small sound that turns into a wince. "Easy," I whisper, setting the mug down. "You'll tear your stitches." He catches my wrist when I reach for the blanket, his touch weak but certain. "You're still here." "I'm still here," I echo. We stay like that. My hand in his, the machine counting his heartbeats like proof he's still tethered to this world. "I was going to write you another letter," I say quietly. "After everything." "Another goodbye?" "No," I shake my head. "A beginning." He frowns slightly. "Why a letter?" "'Cause it's how we started. Maybe it's how we start again." He studies me, then nods once. A slow, reverent motion. "Read it to me when it's done." "I will." I glance toward the table near the window. The first page is already there. My handwriting careful and certain. He follows my gaze. "What does it say?" "Only one line so far." "What is it?" I meet his eyes. "It says home." Something in his expression breaks. Not pain, not relief. Something deeper. He reaches for my hand again, thumb tracing the inside of my wrist like he's trying to remember the shape of peace. "Charlotte," he murmurs. "Yeah. If I forget how to be gentle again, you won't. And if I do, then I'll remind you." He exhales, long and trembling. "You're too good for this world." "Maybe. But you're in it." He smiles faintly, eyes closing. "You always know how to win." "This isn't winning," I whisper. "It's choosing." Outside, the light shifts, warm gold spilling across his face, the same way it did that morning after the storm. I reach up, brush the hair from his forehead. "Get some rest." He hums something that sounds almost like agreement, his hand still holding mine even as sleep starts to pull him under. I stay there, watching the sunlight climb across the walls, the quiet between us no longer sharp, but soft, the kind of silence you build a life inside. When I finally turn back to the letter, the words come easily. "Draven, this isn't a goodbye. It never was. It's just a promise." I pause, look at him again, breathing, alive, impossibly still here. Then I write the rest. "Whatever this world does to us, whatever it takes, we'll choose each other anyway." I fold the paper, set it on the nightstand beside his bed. And when his fingers twitch in sleep, searching, I slide my hand back into his. This time I don't let go. 1 year later it rains again. Not the violent kind, not the storms that shake the glass, but a quiet, steady rain that smells like spring instead of endings. Draven's office looks different now. Lighter. The walls that once felt like fortresses are lined with framed photographs. Some of them stolen moments I didn't know he kept. My hand reaching for his at the hospital, the first sunrise after he came home, his dog-eared copy of The Count of Monte Cristo left open on the balcony. He says it helps him remember what not to lose. He's standing by the window when I walk in, phone pressed to his ear. His voice is calm, lower now, more patient than it used to be, the kind of tone that makes people listen without fear. "I told you," he says into the line. "No retaliation. Not this time. The deal holds." Pause. A faint smile. "Then don't make me repeat myself." He ends the call, sets the phone down and turns toward me. The scar near his collarbone catches the light when he moves. A reminder, not a wound anymore. "You're early," he says, a hint of amusement in his voice. "Habit," I reply. "I used to think if I showed up before you I'd catch you off guard." He steps closer. "Hasn't worked yet. Maybe I just like the view." He raises an eyebrow. but the small smile that follows softens everything sharp about him. Still dangerous when you want to be. Still pretending you're not, I counter. He chuckles, the sound low, quiet. He reaches for me, just enough to touch the back of his fingers to my jaw, the gesture more tenderness than possession now. How was the meeting? I ask. Peaceful. I laugh softly. Coming from you, that's either a miracle or a threat. Maybe both. He looks at me then, not the way he used to, with hunger or fear of loss, but with something steadier. Something that feels like home. I set a small envelope on his desk. I brought you something. He frowns, curious. Another letter? Always. He takes it, hesitates before opening it. The ritual between us now, the same way others say prayers. When he slides the page out, his eyes move over the words slowly. Draven, you once told me love is the fire that burns everything it touches. You were right. But what you didn't know is that sometimes the fire doesn't destroy, it refines. We're not the same as we were that night you found my first letter. Thank God for that. You still make coffee too strong. You still leave your jacket everywhere. And I still write to you when I don't know how to say the thing out loud. So here it is, written instead. You're home now. He finishes reading, folds the letter carefully, and sets it back on the desk beside the first one. The one that started everything, now framed behind glass. Do you ever regret it? I ask softly. Regret what? Letting me back in. He studies me for a long moment. Then, every day. I blink, surprised. What? He steps closer, his voice gentler now. Because every day I realize how close I came to losing you again. He leans forward until his forehead rests against mine, his breath steady. You're my peace, Charlotte. And peace for a man like me will always feel like a risk. I smile against his mouth. Then take it. I already did. His kiss is soft. Not desperate like before, not the kind that burns, but the kind that stays. Outside, the rain deepens, tapping softly against the glass. He pulls me closer, arms around my waist, as if the storm outside could take me again if he didn't hold on. After a while, he whispers, You're still writing? Always. About us. About surviving. He nods. Then make sure you write this part down too. What part? He looks at me, the faintest smile in his voice. The part where I learned how to breathe again. I rest my head against his chest, the steady rhythm beneath my ear, proof of every fight we've outlasted. For a long time we stay that way, the city glowing behind the glass, the storm whispering its soft approval, the past finally quiet. When he lets go, he presses a kiss to the top of my head. Go finish your letter, he murmurs. Before the rain stops. I walk to the desk, pick up my pen, and add one final line. Love didn't destroy us, Draven. It made us brave enough to start again. I sign my name and set it beside his framed promise. Outside, the rain keeps falling. Inside, it finally feels like peace.